Okay, we could see some record heat, but before Clay gets to that, you have a picture from a viewer.
Yeah, Latrice, that's right. We're going to start things off with this nice viewer photo, and then we'll get into the heat. Of course, we've been talking about the heat all week long. That's going to be the story. But we've also had this bad air quality, and yesterday you could kind of see that with the hazy skies as the sun set in Ringgold. This was sent in by Ricky Rusillo. Just a gorgeous shot here, but you can see kind of the hazy sky, the pinks and the purples. So thank you, Ricky, for sending this one in. And as we take a look at downtown Chattanooga right now, you can still see that haze out there. Few clouds, blue skies, and it just looks hot out there, and it's going to be hot later on. We do have that code orange still in effect for the Chattanooga metro area. So air quality not going to be all that great. A lot of ozone, a lot of pollutants here at the surface. So if you have asthma or any other respiratory issues, like I mentioned earlier, you might just want to limit your time outdoors if you have that chance. But as we take a look at your radar, again, we can use the rain to wash some of this out, but the air is very stagnant. Light winds as we sit pretty much directly underneath this high pressure. And taking a look at the temperatures, they are shooting up quickly. Look at Nashville, already 95 degrees, 90 here in Chattanooga, 87 in Atlanta, upper 80s to lower 90s here across the valley, mid 80s into Blue Ridge and Murphy. So the heat is on, and we're going to continue to have these temperatures rising pretty darn close to, I'd say, 100 degrees. In fact, Chattanooga 99, 97 in Athens, 93 in Blue Ridge, and 92 in Altamont. Our forecast is 99, our record 100, and that was set back in 1990. And of course, August typically a pretty hot month, so this is not that unusual, but usually it's closer to the low to mid 90s this time of the year. So we're about 10 degrees above normal. And the next big thing is going to continue to be the heat over the next couple of days. High pressure will shift off to the east. We'll get return flow from the Gulf of Mexico, bringing in that humidity. So if you've liked the drier, less humid mornings that we've had, we're about to trade those in for those really soupy mornings here across the Tennessee Valley as that muggy meter starts to shoot back up. Dew points over 70 this time of the year. Forget about it. That's not very comfortable, but we've been dealing with that throughout the summer. So we'll get through it, and then it's eventually going to start to cool down. But before that cool down next week, we're talking near record temperatures today, tomorrow, Friday, and then we come back into the 90s and eventually the 80s next week. I think we're going to have a pretty good cold front come through right around Labor Day. On the backside of that, cooler, maybe even below normal temperatures for much of the eastern half of the country where you see these blue shades, which of course includes the Tennessee Valley. Now that far out, we can't change because sometimes these fronts have a hard time getting down here, especially early or late in the summer, early in the fall time. So we'll continue to track this out. We might be getting some cooler temperatures next week, so just stay tuned for that. But as we take a look at your futurecast, no rain today, a couple of clouds here and there, just going to be hot. And then as we get into your Thursday, we're going to have just a little more moisture to work with, and I think it will be possible that we get a shower or two in places like Murphy, Blue Ridge, maybe even Ellijay. Notice some of that green popping up, and that's the first green we've seen on our futurecast in quite some time. It has been a dry month. But then as we get into your Friday and the weekend, we're going to have a better chance of seeing some of those pop-up showers. Not expecting a washout, but as we get into Saturday especially, I think we're going to have a better chance of rain. And of course, many of you probably heading up from Chattanooga to Knoxville on Saturday. Heard there's a pretty big game going on. The Mocs taking on the Tennessee Volunteers. You also have Georgia and Clemson playing in Atlanta. So each way or either way that you're going down 75, you're probably going to run into a little bit of rain. So just be mindful of that. Make sure to download that Local 3 weather app. Stay up to date on some of these showers, and we need it. We're still dealing with a widespread drought, but as we take a look at your 7-day forecast, the heat going to be the story through Friday. Then we'll have storm chances into the weekend, and by next Tuesday, we'll start that cooling trend, Latrice.
Alrighty, thank you so much there, Clay.